Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about mindset, and I just want to understand, not even understand. Let's just have a conversation. You ever had people to actually just count you out? I mean, they just done thought the worst of you, and oh, it's over with for that person. They're never gonna pick up. What about the people that actually put you in that position? Some of the very people that you helped are the very ones that have counted you out. They felt like, oh, this person is I did what I was gonna do to them, or you had your hand. They had their hands around the devil fireplace trying to destroy you. Talked about you, discredited you, lied on you. Cheated, mistreated. Y'all heard that song, but it's very true in life with just people in general. A lot of people don't think about the things that they do to people. Their whole mindset is they just don't want to see that person succeed. Or they just can't stand the fact that that person, no matter what you do to them, they're going to succeed, because when God has his hands on them, there's nothing you can do to pluck that success up out of that person. It's not on them, it's in them. So that's why I said, let's talk about mindset for a little while. Sometimes when you're motivating people, you have to get to the root cause of things. And then once you get to the root cause, people are able to become unstuck, and they're able to grow. And the reason that I wanted to get to all of this is because we're in a season right now, like there's so much going on, so much chaos going on in the world. But I want people to see the blessing in the chaos, because a lot of people are worried, or they let the smallest things upset them, or they become scared, or fear. And that's understandable, because that is human nature. People do get scared. Even the disciples got scared in the boat with Jesus, and they had Jesus in the boat with them. And that's why he said, oh, ye of little faith. So that's why I came back to just talk to you guys about your mindset. In this season, we need to have a mindset that, you know what, I'm gonna keep my eyes on the prize, which is Jesus Christ. And also, we need to have the mindset, either you're going to stay stagnant or stuck, or I'm going to use this time to grow. And the way that you grow in this time is some people like to read. You may want to read or study. Some people want to invest. Doing good investments at this time is a good thing. And really investing in yourself. And please, like, everybody needs to do a whole lot of self-care. Doesn't matter who you are. Self-care, self-love. Give yourself credit. Don't beat yourself down. You done did enough of that. A lot of things people need to heal from. A lot of people need healing. A lot of healing, because they've been through a lot. And there was nobody there to pick you up, or nobody there to say, hey, you know what? I saw what you was going through. When people get in situations, that's when you find out who really for you and who against you. And a lot of people turn their back on you. A lot of people don't want to know you. They don't want nothing to do with you. Don't have a good word to say. All they want to do is, a lot of people's mindset is, oh, I just want to stay away from that person, because I don't want that to come over here. I don't want that type of energy over here. But, when you got that thought process in your mind, just remember now, nobody lives in a glass house. So the same way that you're trying to avoid that person because you think, oh, that energy going to come over there on your house, that's how it gets there. Because you have to change your mindset. Ask them, what can I do to help? Or is there anything that I can do to help you grow from this process or get through it? That's what counts. Not just automatically assuming, or looking for a hot topic to talk about because that person is going through something, because everybody gonna have a period where they're gonna go through something. And sometimes it's not always a bad thing to have those periods, because during that time you tend to do self observation, and that way you will know like what not to do again, or what wasn't working, or what I need to do to make whatever I was doing more stable. Or maybe I don't need to do that anymore. I need to cancel that and try something else. But going through a dark period is not always a bad thing. Sometimes God used those separations to move you away from people that don't need to be in your circle, or the people that you thought that was gonna be there was only there for the moment, for the good times. We call them good time Charlies. But when you going through, or when you down and out, or when they think that it's over for you, now they run and they don't have time for you no more. Prime example of that is Wendy Williams. A lot of people was in her circle that shouldn't have been there. A lot of people thought she wasn't gonna bounce back, but she is. A lot of people gave up hope on her, but you saw her at her son graduation looking good. And one thing I had told people, I said, you know what? They were saying all that stuff about Wendy. I said, but one thing about her, and that's about any woman, I'm going to be honest. You mess with her money and she don't work hard like Wendy worked and built herself up like that, and then you going to take something from her. Oh, it's some fight in her. She got right on up and let people know, like, you know what? I might be going through and I might be down and out, but at the end of the day, I still got that fight in me. And I love that for her, that she got up and she's still fighting and she not going to give up. So that should be motivation for somebody right there, because what she went through was not easy. That whole situation for her was not easy, and it's very hard when it's on public display. And if you ain't never been in that situation, you could never understand it. But I love the fact that she didn't hide it. She put it in the open. And yes, Wendy probably did say some things about people. But if Wendy said something about people, then people should have examined themselves. That was the time to reflect on yourself and wonder why she saw you in that light and why she was speaking the way she was. And a lot of times if she was wrong, I noticed that she would come back and she would say, maybe I thought this or maybe I thought that. But at the end of the day, it was her job. People was wanting to be in the public eye, and they were celebrities, so that came with the territory. So, people gonna talk about you. They talked about Jesus, but hey, it's about how you handled it. People talk about me, but baby, I say, honey, keep talking, because if you ain't talking about me, I must not be important. I want you to talk about me, because that means that I'm going the right direction. That means that I'm doing something right if you're talking about me. And most of the time, when people talk about people, I love that poem that say small minds talk about people and large minds talk about ideas. People are trying to do big things. They don't have time for that small talk. That's another reason why we got a lot of chaos in the world, because you got a lot of people that no matter what color they are, they don't have time for that. They are trying to live on purpose. Not exist. They really trying to live on purpose. And by them trying to live on purpose, they don't have time to sit around in all kinds of drama or all kinds of mess. They really just trying to get their money and keep enjoying their lifestyle. But then you also got people that don't know how to get there, or don't know how to understand that, or they were never there when that person was going through their dark moments. They didn't see all that. Nobody never seen a millionaire or billionaire when they was having a bad moment. You never seen them when they was doing the background, or when they was trying to build those companies up, or when they was trying to become who they are and make a name for themselves. You didn't see that part. You never see the part when some people lay down at night and cry. You never see the part when people are, having their bad moments. You don't see that. Only thing you see is the good times, when they finally make it, or when they finally get there, when somebody finally recognize them, or when, God say, okay, it's your time. That's what people see, but they don't see the backdrop of things. And so that's why, you have to be careful, because a lot of people will jump on your ship. When you are starting out, they will jump on the ship. That doesn't mean that they're going to be there when the ship get ready to sail. Not only does it not mean they're going to be there when the ship get ready to sail, it also means that how many of them people on that boat putting holes in that ship to try to make sure it don't go anywhere? How many people are just there for the ride? So that's why you have to constantly be praying, no matter who you are. You have to constantly be praying and staying protected. It ain't up to nobody else to pray for you. You have to pray for yourself, because anybody can deceive you. You got to understand that. Have you ever been in a situation where, like they say, sometimes you're sleeping with your enemy? Sometimes that enemy be done grew up with you. So you don't never know who the enemy is. So you have to constantly praying and asking God to give you, like Solomon did. He said, give me a heart to be able to judge between the good and the evil of people, because he couldn't do it. Only God can do that. So who can know the heart of man except God? Because it's wicked. People will do anything, and it's said that money, it comes from trees, but that same tree has cost a lot of people their lives. Mindset. God don't mean for anybody to be poor. I don't know where people get that from about you got to be poor to be close to God. Nope. God says he owns cattle upon 1,000 hills. Everything in this earth is his. So there's not a poor mindset in the God that we serve. So you should always think highly of yourself and think big. If you get it, you deserved it. You deserved it. It was for you. Now, some people get it, and let me just say this. Some of that stuff is given to you by the devil. And those people know who they are. Nobody has to break it down for them, put them on phonics. They know. Because it clearly tells you now. If you thought God wasn't smart, he said the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So you can get there and you can steal and build up all that wealth that you know is not rightfully yours. And God gonna simply just let you do exactly what you're doing. You go ahead and work hard for my child. Because just as soon as you get it to the point that God wanted, guess what he gonna do? He gonna shift it right out of your hands and put it to the person that it truly belongs to. Because if it's not yours, it's not gonna stay with you. It don't like you. It don't like you. Some people, money don't like some people. And they be wondering why I work so hard and I do all this and this and this and this, and I still don't have it. Because you didn't get it rightfully. It wasn't yours. And that's why I always tell people this, or I always say it even to myself. I encourage myself. If it's something that I want and I don't get it, and I always say, you know what, Lord, thank you, because it's something about that you didn't want me to have it either now, or it don't belong to me, or, the timing is just not right. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You got some people that don't care. They just want it by any means necessary. I just got to have it. I got to show off. But what are people showing off for? What's the show off? What's to be proven? The only person that anybody on this earth need to be proving something to is God. Because at the end of the day, it says, I ain't afraid of the one that can get this body. I'm afraid of the one that can get my soul. So you going to lose your soul for the world, to gain the world? To prove something to man, a mere man? Same thing I told y'all in another one of my videos, how the guy that was a millionaire owned all those casinos, and the guy said he was friends with him, and he ended up getting married to a younger woman, and the money couldn't save him. It couldn't buy him out of death. So he's dead now, and his ashes in a Ziploc bag, of all things, a Ziploc bag, not an urn, a Ziploc bag. That's how much she thought of him. And she owns all those casinos, and she just put those ashes in one of the casinos in the money tray. So that kind of let you know what the mindset was. And she just put his ashes in that cash register where the money is. And she just go on about her life. And I don't blame her, because obviously she understood the principle that he was really only about his money. So in this season, you have to choose what kind of mindset you're going to have, and I hope everybody will get the growth mindset. This is a time that it's a lot of people that's going to become rich. A lot of people that no one ever expected to make it are going to make it. You're going to make it. It's going to be like almost like going to heaven, honey. You don't know who's going to be there. Like this, some of the people they're going to be in heaven going to surprise you. Because who could know the heart of man but God? So, and a lot of people that think they're going to be there, not going to be there. And a lot of people say, well, I'm finna do this, but don't judge me. Let me get that right real quick. I know we a lot of people use that as a trend. We're saying now as a joke, but on the flip side of that, some people get mad when you say certain things about them and say, well, you ain't God and you can't judge me. Well, I got news for you. I got news for you. You better go read the Bible. Let me get real close for you. You better go read the Bible. It says the saints. Underline that 3 times. The saints are going to judge the world. Who you think the saints are? Who do you think the saints are? God's people. So, everybody here ain't from God either. There are a lot of people that Satan put here because they're on assignment. And they're going to do their job. We get mad. As Christians, we get mad because we don't want to take a little heat. Or we can't stand it. Or we just can't go through this or can't go through that. But if you look around, you're the most talked about people. People accuse you the most, lie on you the most, do you the worst. Talk about you like a dog. But at the end of the day, when it all go down, when they're in them situations that they can't get out of, one of them first phone calls, or one of the first calls is Jesus. And the second one is to one of them saints. Can you pray for me? And you know, it take a lot. That's why we have to stay encouraged, because when they do come to you, you know, you have to just turn the other cheek. That's where that cheek come in. And ain't say let nobody step on you, beat you down, or nothing to you. That just mean forgive them and go ahead and do what you got to do for them. But don't let them take advantage of you. Because if you know this person continue to do the same thing and the same repeat behavior, they ain't trying to change. And God ain't tell us to be dummies. Let's just make it plain. He ain't told you to be no dummy. I'm not your doormat and I'm not your dummy. Now, what I can do is give you what Paul and Silas told the guy. Silver and gold I have none, but I can give you Jesus. So, yes, pray for them, but don't let them wear you out. Because it is a cutoff point. Even Jesus will cut it off. People say, no. No, yes, he will. He even told the angel, cut it off. Or when Pharaoh kept playing with God. Because see, we got a lot of them out here too, them Pharaoh spirits. He kept playing with God, and what God told him, you done played with me for the last time. Now I'm going to harden your heart that you're going to want to change and you ain't going to be able to change. That's happening to a lot of people too. A lot of people, they want to change, but they can't. God done harden their hearts. You don't want to become an enemy of God, well, he'll do that to you and turn you over to a reprobate mind. That you'll lie so good you'll start to believe yourself and the lies that you tell you. You know, it was a time in this world where people would say, I don't know if people remember this, but remember people used to say, when the pastor or the sister or somebody from the church used to say, you know, come on, go to church with me, or come on, let's pray, or let me pray for you. When they know they got them hands around that devil fireplace, they always say, no, I ain't ready yet. I gotta get right. Give me time. I got to have some time. Let me get some time to get right. I ain't ready for that right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. In this day and time, I respected them folk right there more than I respect these folk now. Because these people out here playing with God and thinking that it's a joke. They don't believe he real. They testing everything to say, you know, I want to see if he's so real. Let me see him get up off his throne. You don't want that. You don't want that because, see, and that's why I love him, because he's patient and he's kind, long-suffering, and he understands the bigger picture, things that we can't see. So he said, you know what, it ain't about me proving who I am, because that's what Satan would want. That's what he did when he took him to the highest pinnacle. He said, told him to throw himself down. And he said, the Lord, I should not test the Lord thy God. And then he told him about He can have all these things. You offering God himself all of his own stuff. People do that to you. They offer you your own stuff. That's almost like people say, "I kill you and help look for the body." They will. They mean that because that's they of the father, the devil. That's why they do that. Say that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, Jesus will let him know. So you got to stay calm and just simply give him the word of God. And he never should distracted from the word of God. He said, man can't live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of my mouth. See, you got to feed the enemy the word. Stick to the word. He don't want you to say the word, because if you read the King James Bible and you stick to that word, don't take nothing from it and don't add nothing to it. Stick to that word. It works for itself. Because one thing about God, he said, I'm going to watch over my word to see that it is performed. And so when you speak the word exactly as he told you in the Bible, the enemy going to flee, because he ain't got no fight in it. He can try, he can twist, he can turn, he can try all kind of things. It won't work for him. It won't work for him. And some of them might think that they got away. Neighbor thought he had got away when it came to David. And David had sent his men. He said, go tell neighbor that I done did everything he asked me to do. He has not lost any of his animals or nothing. I protected everything, me and my men. All he asked him for now, like, go tell him to give me something to eat and maybe some money to get us some new gear or something. Neighbor ego got the best of him. Drinking and egos. And he said, when the man got there to tell him what David had said, he told him, he said, who is David? You ever had them type of people? They ask, who are you? Who are you? You know, I don't have to answer to you. Yeah, you have to be very careful who you're talking to and the way you talk to them. Because it ain't about them. It's who behind them. And he had said that to David, man, and told him to go tell David that he wasn't sending him nothing. So David's servant went back and told David what he said. You know how they say a lion don't never roar when he getting ready to kill his prey? You got to be mindful. Some people, just because you don't know that they're a lion, don't mean that they're going to have to put it on display for you to know that there ain't nothing to be played with. So a lot of people, when they read the Bible and when they get to know the Bible, they don't understand that Bible is powerful. People think that God was just somebody that laid down and took anything. No, he's not. And neither was the people that was in that Bible. And neither are the people that's in this world today. Because David simply told God what David told the men, get on the horses. He forgot who David was. David was anointed as a little boy. He waited almost, 25 years before he became a king. Sometimes your long suffering and your wait, it seemed like God forgot about you. God ain't forget about you. Look at all the trials he went through with even Saul. But David had get so close to Saul, he had to cut the cloth off Saul while he was sleeping. He didn't even know it. That's why you got to be careful of what you do and say to people, because you don't never know when it's going to hit you. But the good part is we don't have to fight our battles. God do that for us. He said, be still and know that I am God. And so when David got them horses girded up in his men, he said, I'm about to kill everything associated with Nabal. Everything that got his name on it, I'm going to kill it. And God knew he meant business. God always in the plan. When David was on his way with his men to kill Nabal and everything in that kingdom, Nabal's wife, that's why women are important. Nabal's wife went and she said, my Lord. That's a key thing for women. That's why I said mindset. Key said women, what come out of our mouths can change a man's heart. So it ain't always about saying what you want to say to him. You got to know how to speak to him at the right time. And sometimes we can be very rude and disrespectful. But it's always good to think before you speak. Watch where he is and how he feel at that moment, because you never know what he going through. And that's vice versa with me. But David was on his way, and Abigail came and she said, "My Lord." Basically, she said, "Please forgive my husband, Nabal." Nabal speaks as a fool, and that's what Nabal means, fool. She said, "Everything that you have asked for, I have brought it." She met him halfway before he could even get there, because she knew David meant business. Let me tell you something. How did she know? God had to put it on that lady hard, because God had to let her know. You better get intercept that for your husband before, because you finna go too. And she did. She went and she intercepted and gave David everything he asked for with some extra, to get that heat off of that kingdom. But see, even though Abigail did all of that, like I said, you don't want to mess with God people. He said, "Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm." After all of that, 10 days later, God said these words: "David forgave you, but I didn't. You touched my servant." And I'm saying this to say this to somebody, and I don't know who listening, but I want to say this to you. I don't know who you are, where you're from, what walk of life you in, but I'm going to say this, and I don't know who I'm talking to. God said, somebody forgave you, but he didn't. Be mindful of how you walk on this earth. 10 days later, Nabal died. God did that. Not man, but God. And I'm here to tell you, I've seen it for myself. That's why I'm always mindful of when people speak. A lot of people say, "How you have so much patience?" And I said, because I understand the principles behind what's going on. And sometimes I try to reason with everybody in a situation, or sometimes people do or say things that I know is not right. But to keep confusion down, I'm not going to translate messages or drama between people. I'd rather keep silent and hold some things in. You don't have to tell everything. My grandmother used to always say, if it's going to keep somebody from getting killed or keep them out of jail, be quiet. Just be quiet. Don't say nothing. Now, if you do wrong and kill somebody or something like that, I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell on you, because you know better. Now, if you was defending yourself, that's between you, God, and the police. But if you just lie and wait to kill a man for no reason, you don't need to be here at all. The Bible said it, I ain't said it. God said, go ahead and get rid of them and send them up to me so I can go ahead and judge them immediately. So all these people out here that's killing people for recognition, your fight ain't with man, it's with God. And a lot of people don't believe that fire, that hell fire is hot, but it is. And people say, well, hell ain't open yet, but it's going to be. It's going to be. But believe me, that fire ain't stopped cooking. Just imagine 2,000 years later, that same fire burning. You know they're going to be real hot. And some people say, well, if you want to taste it sometime, go in them prisons. That's the hell on earth. Go in there. You can smell it. Folk be done did somewhere wrong, you can smell it. You can smell it. But one thing I'm going to say about those people in them prisons, and I will say this. Them people in prisons, I ain't say all, I say some, a good bit of them. They are so close to God because they are broken. That's why I understand why God put that scripture in there. Those people are broken. Some of them have never, ever heard of Christ in their life. And you never know who's going to bring it to them. They ain't never heard of him, never been to church. So, sometimes people paint a bad picture about them and say, oh, this and that. You got to know. You need to stop putting your mouth on people till you know the whole story. Know the whole story before you just automatically cast them away and cast them out. Because God still loves them too. But this is certainly about the mindset. So, just mindset. Have a mindset that to grow. Use this time period to grow. Don't worry about the distractions going on. Worry about growing. Don't worry about who done cast you out. Long as God don't cast you out, you got a chance. It might not work for you today, but don't mean it ain't gonna work for you tomorrow. Cause those same people that you cast out today, them might be the same people that had to give you a job tomorrow. Or the same people that have to be there in your corner in the courtroom tomorrow. Or stand by your bed in the hospital tomorrow. Or grandma used to say, always have to wipe the slobber. You don't never know who's gonna have to wipe the slobber from your mouth. So people need to get back to the basic of things. Stop trying to hurt everybody, or because they say hurt people, and they do. Stop thinking everybody out to get you, or everybody out to make you have a bad time. No. That's your own thinking. That's that self-thinking. And Satan take that kind of stuff and he'll drive. That's when I say he driving your car. He driving your car. Find a way to spread kindness. Running for a gun ain't always the answer. It's more than one way to solve things. Sometimes a lot of people dead to these days because they don't want to listen. Or, they think that's the only solution is to go ahead and kill somebody. No, it's not. That's the worst thing you could ever do. Is put your hands on that gun. I didn't say not to protect yourself. I said, but that's the worst thing you could do. Is the first thing you think about is a gun. Because at the end of the day, it's more to it than just that gun. Man around here talking about, oh, but my Second Amendment rights and that. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying don't have a gun. I would never tell you that. But I'm just saying use it properly. Have the proper training as well as the right mindset to have that gun. But when you run around here with a gun and you just want to kill somebody because I want to prove a point that I'm macho and I'm bad. No, you're not, because it's always somebody better. Or when you run around here thinking that, oh, I'm going to just kill this person, that's the end of it. No, it's not over. You don't believe me? Ask Cain and Abel. When Cain killed Abel, that blood was still crying from the ground. Whenever you kill a person, that blood still comes up when it rains. It still cries from the ground. And God's still asking you, just like he asked Cain, where is thy brother? Where's your brother? Or your sister? So it ain't for the world to judge you. It's for you. When God asks you that question, you pull that trigger. You need to ask yourself, can you handle what's going to come behind pulling that trigger? Because it don't end with man. It ends that person's life, and it also ends yours. Yes, you go to jail. Yes, you still got breath in your body, but your mind is not the same. Your life is not the same. You gave something up you can't get back. You can't get time back. You gave something up that you got to sit here and you got to try to explain to God, but God ain't even going to hear you, because now he going to have a deaf ear on you if you did it with the wrong mindset. Now, if you was protecting yourself, no worries. If you fighting in the war, no worries. But if you lying in wait to just kill innocent blood, the Bible tell you about that. It tells you about that. So with that being said, think Now's the time to start thinking. Everything don't have to be so fast paced, or you thinking with the wrong mindset. You got to, if you change your mind, change your thinking, you can change your whole life. Your whole life. You have a chance. Don't worry about what the next man got. Just let God work on you. The same thing he got, you gonna have it. You might not have it right then. It's 2025 and you may want a 2025 car and you might not get it. That's okay. It's okay. Just wait, because you know what? 2030 got to come. 2026 got to come. And that might just be your year. 2025 might not be for you to get that Lamborghini or that Maserati or whatever car you want. It may not be your year. And don't worry about that. If it don't happen for you, that means God trying to save you from something. So you need to just slow down and say, you know what, Lord, thank you. And I'm going to wait till you ready for me to have it. But in the meantime that I'm waiting, while you in that waiting process, do something else positive. Because keep building up. Keep building up. Because your time going to come. Don't think it's not going to come. But you trying to microwave it or rush it, you ain't doing that but hurting yourself. You just hurting you. And that's not what you want. People ain't telling people the truth out here. And then we want to talk about the younger kids and the younger generation. But if nobody's teaching them and giving them wisdom, then how can they learn from their mistakes, or how can they grow? Because we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all got to learn. But we all got to also hold each other accountable. And you cannot make excuses. When it's wrong, it's wrong. And when it's right, it's right. And I noticed that a lot of people nowadays praise evil and wrongdoing. Tell them the truth. What the end results of that evil and wrongdoing is. It might feel good for the moment, but you'll think, oh, I'm just going along with the trend. But don't let that fool you, because you went along with that trend in 2024 and back. But guess what? It's just like a plant. You're going to put it in the ground, that seed in the ground, but it's going to have to come up. Now, whatever you put in there is what you're going to get back out of it, because plants don't come up overnight. Some going to take 60 days, some going to take 90 days. And if it's a tree, sometimes it could take years before it even reach adulthood. Now, which one do you want to do? Plant the good seed and let a good harvest come up at any time? Or you going to keep feeding to that corruption? Because you're going to have to reap that corruption, whether it be the graveyard, the jailhouse, or the hospital. You got your own choice to make. And don't blame God, because a lot of people say, well, I got mad at God because, no, you should have been mad at yourself, because at the end of the day, you chose that path. And when things fell off, now you want to be mad at God. Be mad at yourself. I ain't saying just you, me too. I done had my moments where I said, man, why did it? I had to check myself. You need to be mad at you. Nobody did that but you. God ain't do nothing, but you did it to yourself. So just watch your mindset and be mindful of what we're doing. Be motivated. I'm just wanting you to be motivated. Think before you speak. Sometimes it ain't always good to go. If your mind tell you don't do something, or that good, don't do it. Don't do it. Because that's God trying to alert you. Don't do it. Something must on the wrong pathway. Now it's the time to correct it. A lot of things going on, and a lot of parents not teaching these kids too. I heard another person on here talking about the kids in the schools and the kids in the school and how they acting up, not only in the schools but on the buses. Let's be real. You send your child to school for a purpose. Now, don't think that God was slack when he did that pandemic. Whether it was man-made or God-made, at the end of the day, it still had a lesson to be learned in it. And in that lesson that was to be learned in it, when they sent them kids home, was so you could see how your kids really act in school. And if you don't want your kids doing it at home, don't allow them to go to them people's schools doing that stuff. And they're not lying, because my daughter is a teenager. She is in high school, and I have been in the schools, and I don't know if that's new parenting, because I hear people say gentle parenting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hear people saying gentle parenting. And gentle parenting look like y'all raising Freddie, Chucky, and Jason all in one. You know, I just say Freddie, Chucky, and Jason because a lot of people going to get mad when you say the demonic spirits, but that's what it really is. You just letting them build up in them kids, and you send them out there to them teachers, and the teachers can't handle it because they don't really understand what's going on. But anybody that knows spiritual warfare, we all aware of what's going on. But if you love your kids, the way a lot of these parents say, I love my kids, and that's why I gentle parent. If you love them, then you better ungentle. You better ungentle, because Satan get in them, and you done lost your child. And God ain't worrying about no children. Because David was a little boy, but did God tell him, stop saying you a little boy, because I know what I put in you. And he defeated Goliath. So they ain't children like you think they is. And people wonder, well, why they coming here knowing all this stuff already? Because they was never children. When they come out of our womb, they say, what, 9 months? But where they was before them 9 months, people need to start thinking about that. You better think about who you raising and what's coming out of you. It's all right to talk to our kids. Yes, I talk to my daughter. We have conversations. But I also have my discipline, my firmness. You know, I talk to her. I want to hear what's going on. I want her to have a voice. But I also want her to know what I'm not going to tolerate as a parent. And what you're not going to do is go to them people's school and embarrass me. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to go out there and disrespect nobody. If something go on that is in an adult arena, I handle it. I don't need you to take my place and handle nothing. I just need you to call me and say, Mama, this is the situation, or text me. This is the situation, and how do I handle it? So if it's something that I can text you back and say, do this, this, and this, or if it's something that I know that she has no business doing, then it's my job as a parent. I don't need her to be the parent and the child. I need to do my part too. So I show up and I handle it. And I ain't had no problems thus far. I got 2 kids and no problems. I got one that's in the Marines that tell you a lot about me. I don't play. I do not play. I call his Marine, what they call him, officer, whatever. I'm not really sure how to do the military talk. He been in there for a while and I still ain't learned it. But I still his commander. They know me. They know me. I know he's under their command, and yes, but at the same time, he still representing me. So I need you to do your job and do it properly. But don't forget that at the end of the day, I'm still your mama, and you still represent me. So, and you ain't finna be in nobody's jailhouse or doing nothing foolish, because I got this. And that's the same way other parents need to be. It's okay to give them a little freedom, but be careful. Because that's how a lot of people losing their kids. We losing our kids, and then, you know, the next thing you know, they face on a t-shirt, or you holler and pray for them. But the whole time they was out here acting like Freddie, Jason, and Chucky, you were laughing and thinking of funny recording it. I see y'all recording them people for children fighting. That ain't cool. That ain't good at all. It's a lot of kids that can't fight. But that doesn't give us a right as a parent to send your child over there to put their hands on them. You know, it's things that adults should be able to work out. Go back, and people need to go back to talking to one another, getting stuff resolved, instead of saying, oh, my child won't do this or my child won't do that. Yes, they will. All our children to do some things behind our back. You know, once they get in them schools, yeah, you might be the best parent in the world at home. You can, and I believe that. But when them children go to them schools, honey, they got peers. And them children influence them to do all kind of mess. And you don't even know they doing it. So don't ever say what your child won't do. Just say, you know what? Let me check on this. Or sometimes I let man give them a little rope there, hang themselves. And when I catch them, that's when I get them. But I'm going to get you because I'm going to be waiting. Like them folks say, I got eyes in the back of my head and on the side. But mine know not to do that because I put the fear of God in them. They already know they rather you do anything else, but don't call my mama. Because if I show up at that school and it ain't about an award, we're going to have a come to Jesus. Because either God going to have to tell me what to do for you and to you, but we're going to have a come to Jesus. I ain't sparing no rods. Because I don't spoil children. I love you, but I ain't going to spoil you. Because if I don't do it at home and I don't diss you now, I don't need nobody else to worry dissing my child, tell them anything. Some of these kids get so messed up. Then they young, getting in trouble, going to prison, got all these years on their head, and parents ain't taught them nothing. They can't even survive in the prisons. They in there fighting for their life every day because somebody didn't tell them the truth. Or the parent upheld them and they wrong. Don't do that. Y'all need to stop doing that. Start talking to these other parents. Go back to having conversations. It's okay to have conversations. It's okay to, I don't know, have a cup of coffee or some people like to have a smoothie or something. Do whatever you got to do to get to that other parent to have a smooth conversation. And stop when people come to your house tell you about your kids, you want to start getting all on the defense. We all love our kids, but they ain't always right. And if you don't believe me, ask some parents that's been here a long time. They got some grown kids, how they were defending their kids to the end and come to find out the child was. Or how about them, ask some of them parents who the children trying to kill. Or the one they had to call in that nanny lady in to might come this and my children, I wish I would. Call somebody had to come take it, do my own job myself. Nah, baby, we ain't gonna never get it that far. God called me, he equipped me, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So, yes, black lives do matter, all lives do matter, but we also all gotta stick together. We also gotta give people the right discipline and the mindset. And it ain't always about putting your hands on the kids. You can talk to a child. I got nieces and nephews to this day grown, but they know when auntie comes, she ain't finna be playing with me. Someone call me Titi, but they know I'm not here to play with you. I don't care if you play with your mama. Don't play with me. I love you. I'm going to do what I got to do for you. But at the same time, if you're wrong, I'm going to tell you. I don't uphold people and they wrong, not even my kids. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you. Because at the end of the day, that blood on my hands, not on theirs. So with that being said, let's have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. Let's change our mindsets, change our lives, start doing things differently. Sometimes you have to go back to the root and the basics. Let's start over, start again. Clean up your circles. Watch your mindset. Watch distractions. Watch people, them naysayers. Watch people that are telling you that you can't do something as far as growing. Yes, you can. You're just as good as the next man. Excuse me. Some of y'all need to start your YouTube channels. Make sure you're doing that. Start your YouTube channels. Have conversations. Yes, everybody got something to say and everybody got something they need to hear. You never know who's listening and what can be taken away from it. I'll be back on here. I'll be doing more stories. I got a lot of stuff to share with you guys, like just motivation and things that have happened in my life, because I'm going to tell you in order for you to get over different things, or you need somebody that's done been through it. Guess what? I'm going to be right here to tell you what happened, what went down, and what happened. I hope I can save you some heartache, some pain, or save you from going down the, like they say, the road less traveled. I want to send you down the other way or give you a shorter path instead of watching people go through stuff. And a lot of people won't even share the story. And I always tell a lot of elderly people that I see, I always tell them, like, I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are, what background you are. Why would you want to die and not give somebody, younger people, wisdom? Give it to them. Freely God gave it to you, so freely give it to them. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cost you anything. Can't do nothing but uplift them. And what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. So help them out. Give them that wisdom. Teach them something. Take up some time with them. They might not be your child. It don't have to be your child. Moses wasn't Pharaoh's child, but God made him do what he had to do, raise him up, to do what he had to do to lead them children to the promised land. So, it may not be your child, but that don't mean you can't help them and love on them and do right by them. And I feel real bad for our kids, a lot of kids in this world, because they're unprotected. There's nothing protecting these kids. We never heard of no human trafficking back in the days, or kids being kidnapped and all this craziness going on. We ain't hear that kind of stuff because And if it was happening, it wasn't that much. Not like it is today. It's just like it's a new thing for them to just snatch a kid. And the sad part is I've watched them say this on TV and stuff, and it's still parents that are not watching their kids. Or, you're still not protecting your kids. Some parents do the best they can, but there's some people just lack all the way. And I see the kids outside with no parents. I'm talking about little small kids. Or you'll see them in the grocery store and they just walk away from the parents. They're not even paying the kids any attention. That's when you know something is wrong. It's more than just, it ain't just because you're in public. That starts at home. So if you're not paying them no attention at home, of course they're going to wonder. They're going to have a wandering spirit. But stay prayed up. Trust God. Change your mindset. Find a way to grow. Do something different. Do something new. Try something you ain't never tried. So you can get a different result. If you don't know something, invest in yourself. Start with yourself first. Invest in you. That means it don't matter if you got to pay for a course. You got to buy some books. You got to ask a person to teach you. It don't matter. Start somewhere, though. Just like with this YouTube. Start. Get on here, tell somebody about something. People say, well, what should I talk about? It don't matter. Just talk about it because you don't never know what's going to help somebody. So I'm always on everybody's channels. I'm watching so you can get your watch hours. I'm going to subscribe to your channels. I'm going to hit the like button because it doesn't cost us anything. To watch, subscribe, and hit the like button, it does not cost you to do that. It doesn't cost you to do that. So make sure you're watching other people's channels, like the stuff, subscribe to their channels. That helps support each other because that's the only way we can grow. Where there's unity, there's strength. Let me see. Well, another thing I had wanted to say, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I'll be bringing you more stories because I got a lot of stuff to tell you to help you get over. Believe it or not, I don't look like what I've been through, but I made it. God brought me through. I made it. A lot of people didn't expect me to be here. That's why I could tell you about people carrying you out. I have helped a lot of people, and it was the very people that I helped are the very ones that had dagger in my back. But God didn't let me fall. You see, I am here talking to you guys to this day, and I can't wait to share, to tell you things. It's a lot. It's a lot, but it's all good. I'm still in a better place, and God didn't leave me. So if I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to tell you from experience. So stay tuned. I'll post something every day. I'm going to post something. I don't know if I post 2 times, 3 times, maybe 10 times, but I'm going to get it out there. I'm going to leave it out here for you. You might not catch the live or you might not catch the video. You can go back and watch whenever you have free time or whenever you think about me. My channel is Jolie Motivates. So I always be looking for me because I'm going to be dropping different material. And I'm going to give you new stories. Or I'm going to tell you about something every day. I'm going to try to drop diamonds. I call them diamonds. I don't like the nuggets, but I like diamonds. I'm a girl. Diamonds are girls' best friends. So I'll be dropping little nuggets to help you along the way. If it's something that you want to know, you can ask me. But other than that, like, comment, and subscribe. And I thank you guys for your support and your time. Have a great day.